All right, all right, all right. Hello, everyone. How are you doing? It's me, Generic Pie, back with another video, and this is a special video. I have a special guest with me because this is a tournament game.
Hello, hello. My name is Ituralde slash Captain of the Ring, and it's a pleasure to be here.
So, for those of you that don't already know Ituralde's got a fantastic channel. You should all check it out. And what we decided to do for this tournament game, second round of the World Tournament 2024, is each of us is going to we're going to do a co-coms, post-game co-coms of each of the first two games, and if there's a third, we'll do something else. We haven't decided yet. So this is my game on my channel, and then the second game is going to be on Ituralde's channel, which you should all check out. It's great, really, really fun, interesting, enlightening, and good content. I hate the word content, but I'm going to say it anyway.
Well, you're making me blush. Thank you.
But we just had a really good game. Hopefully, it'll be entertaining for you all to watch. Anything you want to say, Ituralde, before we get into it?
No, just pleasure to play you. I'm glad we got matched up. So let's see what happened.
Indeed. What's your name, by the way? We should probably actually. It's a bit weird me calling each other by our pseudonyms.
I'm good, Sam.
Sam, nice to meet you, Sam. We've had a whole game on voice chat before. We didn't even know each other's names. I'm Ross. Voice name
Nice to meet
reveal.
you.
Okay, so we decided to go with me as the shadow in the first game, and Sam was playing as the free people. You started with Imrahil and Guahir. How did you feel about those cards?
Always good to get a playable card. Something you'd be at least willing to play. I like making use of Gandalf's guide ability, so I was happy with Immerhill. Gwai here is hard to find a use for sometimes, especially early, but
Yeah, the Lamroth is the big one, the Imrahil, I think. And I got these juicy cards,
oh
Rage
man,
and well, Rage you can play early technically, and Lidless
yeah.
Eye is like me. Is that the worst card to get early in the game?
Ooh,
Maybe
uh,
it might be
other
because
than Wormtongue and fool yourself into thinking
yeah,
he's good.
that's true. Maybe the treachery of Wormtom actually thinking it's useful could be worse. All right. So in terms of rolls, I went with one eye. Got this delicious roll, absolutely zero musters. Happy to see that.
That was excellent.
And then you got this roll. When I saw this roll, I was like, okay, well, thank God you haven't got lots of movement in a way. But then, in a weird way, having three eyes, I wouldn't even mind you having lots of movement.
Yeah. What am I gonna do with a sea dice other than move, right?
Yeah, exactly. And then moving against three eyes can be pretty brutal. And then the other thing was you've having two Palantirs, like in a slow game with the Shadow Military is really slow at the start. I think having two Palantirs as free people, if you have a card like Imrahil, or even better one like the Elven mustering cards, like it's actually pretty great.
Mhm.
Can be kind of good.
And I sat there for a little bit, I was thinking about, "Okay, I'm gonna play a card, obviously. Do I draw first? Do I play this one? It's good enough."
Mm.
I thought about that for a bit, but
So I can't remember
we'll
what you
see
did. So
yeah.
you did start off. I
Uh,
think that's probably the right thing to do, like just to see what you're going to draw into, and then you
yeah,
draw
and
into.
getting Imrahil before it's an emergency, get him into play.
Yeah, yeah, um,
And then
exactly.
I draw into Fearfire
Then
foes,
you draw into
so
Fear Five Foes. Like hint, hint. I wonder what's going to happen with that. So in my situation, what was I thinking about? I was just like, yeah, draw a card, and I draw a great early card. To be fair, Orcs Multiplying again is one of
Oh, nice,
the
yeah.
best, so that's pretty cool. You and then just out of curiosity, did you consider using Guahir to move him instead?
Oh, wow. Holy cow, I didn't.
Because
That's an
then,
interesting thought.
yeah, because then you could have moved the Fellowship this turn. Because that would have been because.
Oh, yeah, man.
Um,
That's
I
that's a
mean,
good point. Wow, I absolutely should have done that.
and then also, I guess you could have also by using the or because did you? Because
Yeah,
yeah,
because
you
then I would save the
then you would
muster
have
for the
also
Fear 5
cycled
foes.
cards as well, so that would have been quite. You would have got another C card.
Oh, man.
So you
Yeah, good thought.
move to, and I obviously know what's coming. It has to be Fear Five Foes.
Yeah, there's no
Yeah,
way I'm doing that without holding the card.
yeah, interesting and also slightly disturbing in the chat. He's going on an adventure.
It's the
So
reverse adventure where the elves go to the Shire.
yeah, exactly. So here it's kind of an awkward one for Shadow because like, where'd you do the second movement? Um, like
Yeah, especially holding orcs multiplying.
that's it. Like like you're not going to move the Dolgador army out. I don't want to like invoke the Wrath of Faramir by moving anything over here. So I just decide to just do a stock move in the south. You pay Fear Five Foes, obviously.
Hmm.
So I'm like, oh sweet Jesus, this makes things complicated.
Man,
Then you draw to
viewing these
help
with
and
someone
looked
else
for.
when yeah, yeah, that was fun. Viewing this with someone else, man, when I'm reviewing my own games, I can at least not notice my own problems sometimes. I'm kicking myself. I should have played Guire, man.
uh,
Okay.
well, I'm sure I do
I'll
dumb
sleep
stuff as
again
well.
someday, I'm sure.
But this is quite interesting. I've never done one of these like co-coms before. It's quite cool. So yeah, just do standard stuff. You move Gondor down. So is that to kind of like push me up north? What were you thinking there?
Well, so I actually I was figuring there's no way he goes north. There's
Right.
absolutely no way. Got the north all ready to war, and so I was figuring you were just going to go to Minas Tirith, over Dagorlad, or even worse, go to like Rohan or something like that.
Yeah. And well, let's see what we how the second turn
Yeah,
turns
yeah.
out, and then I'll explain my thinking, and maybe everyone in the comments will be like, "You're an idiot."
Ooh,
What the
many
hell?
kings and orc patrol. Good draws.
Yeah, so many things not true on you drew red arrows, you got a scouts and mithril. So that's mithril early kind of sucks. It's
A
annoying.
little early, yeah.
Yeah. And you say, well, at least some M's for me. Yeah, so that's I can get a minion. And obviously I'm going to go for the Witch
Hmm.
King. I think that's more valuable, right? As the North at War.
Yeah,
Um,
the only thing would be Gondor's already won from war. If the worst comes to the worst, now I've got Gondor to war, but kind of
yeah,
a 6 of one, half dozen of the other.
I think part of what pushed me. There's two things that made me go north, right? I think one was the fact that you rolled this. So I'm
Hmm.
thinking if you do want to muster the north, you're going to have to use a will, which is pretty valuable,
Yeah,
or use a
yeah,
ring, which is valuable. Um,
yeah.
and my other thinking is like leaving the north to just do whatever the hell they want is in itself like a very, very dangerous thing to do. You know what I mean?
No, yeah,
Like,
that's a good point.
yeah, so I was thinking like I could play this as if I'm playing any normal game, and I can go and attack Gondor with this army and go here, and I can send this army with Orcs Multiply again over to Lorien. If I do that, and then you just build up like 5 northern elites, you can just like you
Yeah,
can take Dol Guldur so easily.
yeah.
So
Basically ties Dol Guldur to never leaving.
exactly. So and that in itself isn't good. I suppose what I could have done this turn is like maybe I could have sent this army up here and could have played also multiplying and sent it to like Narrows of the Forest instead. That might have been a bit quicker. Maybe that's the play. But anyway, I decided, hey, no, let's not do that. Let's just go north because
Yeah,
I didn't have a convenient way of playing Orcs. I don't want to play Orcs multiplying game with like one of these dice. That seems dumb.
yeah, no. And I did look then note, okay, because I don't have tokens, there's no way I'm getting Gandhi. You'll definitely wait me out,
Yeah, yeah,
even if I do try and move to get Gandhi. So
yeah. That was a real benefit for me. So yeah, knowing that, I figured you probably would use the will to muster. But it's only one muster, so I don't know. You move the Fellowship first, no hit, so nice move. I get Sauron to war. You move again, double hit. And it's a zero
yeah,
reveal, so that's like the worst tile you could possibly get, pretty much. Um, no dead
yeah.
Gandhi.
I mean, yeah, kind of,
Well,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. I wouldn't have minded a 3 there.
yeah. I suppose it's not the worst tile you can get because you couldn't have got Gandhi anyway. But
Well, yeah, just bank him for next round, sort of.
yeah, but still a shitty tile to get. So I decide to make this fateful choice to go north to the Jew line. I put that little guy on you because there's not really much
Yeah,
else to do with my second move. I mean, I think the obvious
yeah.
thing is,
Isengard's not at war, so he can't be looping around DeLorean. So
yeah. And I'm thinking max, whatever happens here, the max you can get is 2 more musters. So wait, muster. You'd have to use 3 dice to muster. No, yeah. So I'm gonna be able to move again. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself.
yeah,
Yeah. So then you And then you draw into bloody Mukabazabo. I can't speak.
it's so fun to draw into that.
Oh god. As if this game wasn't painful enough. So you draw into Book of Mazabal. So how did you feel when you got that?
Oh, I was just over the moon.
If only I had known. Okay, so naturally I get the Witch King, and then we go on to turn number 3. So let's see what you drew. File. Yeah, you're getting some quite awkward character cards, really.
Yeah,
Kindred's handy. when you've still got Gandhi at least.
Yeah, but I actually want to keep the help unlooked for with the do line the way it is, or at least I decided to do it that way.
Oh
And
yeah,
I was actually
yeah,
I
yeah,
was
yeah.
looking at Gwai here thinking, "Oh, well, maybe Legless can ride the Eagles down to Rohan or something." So
I think
I ended up getting rid of Kindred.
I think that makes a lot of sense actually. Knowing that you're going to be committing most like musters and stuff to getting stuff going in Dale anyway, you're not going to play this for a
Yeah.
while, and
And I
advantageous
have the
is
scouts. I want to keep the scouts
you
if
need
I
to keep the
can.
scouts, and like in this situation, you got to keep help and look for right. Um, it's really funny. Like, oh, I won't give it away. Anyway, so I got
And your
um,
draws were what again? Oh,
um,
Return of the King,
yeah,
Witch
and
King.
so pretty good cards. Nice to have a small
Yeah,
bats.
yeah.
So you get now it looks like you're gonna be able to get Gandhi. Naturally, oh yeah, so I get this Palantir turn. Let's see
Yeah,
how.
and I kind of can't get. Did think about putting Strider in the lead. I think that might have been actually a mistake to not put Strider in the lead and then just hide.
Yeah, I think I would have done that. I think just for dice efficiency. Although I think
In
in
the end,
this,
this roll worked out, but I think it was a dangerous move to have done.
I think knowing that like you're kind of hoping to muster anyway. You like
Yeah,
normally you'd happily throw away a muster die to hide, but when you're in this situation where it's like a race to Dale, I think there's slightly less value in just like like your musters are more valuable than normal, I guess.
exactly. Yeah,
So I move up. You get
and you
Dale.
consolidate in the south.
Yeah, I consolidate in the south to Minas Morgul. I've tried to. I want to use a P. There's a couple things I want to do here. I want to get an extra reroll on the fellowship since I've got 2 eyes, so that was quite nice.
Yeah, yeah.
And then attack Dale. Got my Sum of Bats. What cards have you got? I can't remember what.
And I have the scouts. I think about it, and I decided not to. You're only hitting on sixes, or I think I decided on two. I guess let's see what I did.
Yeah. What did you go for? No card. Okay, I can see the logic in that. You're saving the node that the help and look for because you want to actually play it. Hopefully, you're hoping to
Yeah,
play it. You want to keep your book for reasons that
you're only
you know.
hitting on sixes, so let's whittle you down a bit. Maybe I
Yeah,
scout second round or something.
and if you play the scouts, okay, you buff up like Woodland Realm, but then I can just, you can't muster anymore, and I can just sit in Dale or something. So yep, so I roll a pretty bad combat roll, but a better. Look at two. I'm happy with 2 hits.
Yeah,
And
yeah. The
you get.
swarm did something.
I'm not happy with 4 hits back though. That's not good. So that was a nice roll for you. Um, naturally press. Did you consider? You say think. Were you consider actually staying there?
Yeah, yeah. Because I mean, so you roll 6 dice or five. Start that over. You roll 9 dice for fives or sixes. You get maybe two or three more. I get two or three more. Maybe that's like enough. We get to the point where it's like, do you press? Maybe I even go for the no quarter. But I'm always the guy who stays too long where he shouldn't. So that's mostly what I'm thinking.
Yeah, I could definitely be tempted. I mean, in this situation, I would have definitely been tempted. What
Yeah, we
happens there? So
accidentally
I
drew the wrong
accidentally
card
drew,
there, but
drew your card by accident. But you decide to retreat, which I think is totally fair enough. And then you play Book of Mazarbul. So this is really interesting because, like, in the current situation, my thoughts were, I'll just chill in Dale for a while, wait until I've got reinforcements, and then see where I'm at. Maybe I'll go take Erebor down
yeah,
first. Maybe I'll try and do a pincer on like Lorien and Woodland Realm. I don't know. Probably would have gone for Erebor, I guess, depending on whether I could get the South runs in. But instead, when you play Mazarbul, it's like, oh sweet Jesus! Now I gotta go to the stupid dwarves. Ugh.
and I was noting you only have two more attacks, so that
Yeah,
makes it inconvenient.
it makes it very inconvenient. And whatever I do, I'm gonna have to. It just puts me in a real tricky spot, basically. So the Legolas, he's on a real mission, that elf today.
Yeah, yeah.
Plays a power, and then you get the nice Gandhi draw as well, so that's pretty sweet. You draw into a confusion. And I just say Christ. Gasp. And on St. Patrick's Day. So we chat about St. Patrick's Day. Attack. I think I have to attack Erebor here. I can't let you muster there.
Yeah, it's yeah,
What do you
yeah.
think?
I think you're right. Yeah, I think you're right.
I think it's just too dead because, like, then it gets too, but then you can do a field battle potentially, and then there's a chance that like it just goes completely. I'm
Yeah, and you
completely
better
screwed.
believe I thought about a field battle.
Yeah. And you did the classic Ituralde field shout. That's like your catchphrase. Like
Yeah, one of them.
shouting
Yeah,
field.
yeah. I
Um,
just every time the shadow puts me in under siege, I'm like, no, I will not go quietly into the night.
yeah, it's just not how you roll. You have to go failed. So yeah, and then you say you wish you had the Gandhi die. Um,
Yeah, just feeling low on dice as you do when you're 4 dice.
so you do the muster in. I think that's a good play. Um,
Yeah.
getting the muster in, like at least that gives you some value from, if in the
Oh,
worst case
yeah.
scenario I just wipe out, Erebor somehow, at least this wastes my time. I finally get to play my multiple again. I've been waiting for ages to do that. Um, play many kings. So yeah, I'm doing kind of like some admin. I've had these good cards for this situation, to be fair. Happy to play that. But the problem I've got is that like not only are the South Ones not at war, like even Isengard isn't at war. like
Yeah, yeah.
like that's
You're
how.
you're low on dice too.
And you're very much. I'm kind of like, to use a poker term, like pot committed here. Like I can't just be like, I'll just lean back and start dealing with the Isenguardians. It's like, no, I've got to deal with these stupid dwarves. Otherwise, it's gonna be even more trouble.
Yeah,
Um,
for the same reason you had to take Erebor, you have to take Iron Hills.
exactly. Because then you're gonna naturally you'll muster their first thing next turn, and then that's too big. So I have to take on hills. No cards. You play confusion, right? Yeah, good.
Yeah.
I thought it was.
I'm gonna take I could have scouts, but I want to take down a couple of you with me if I can, and that because then who knows what happens.
That's true. That's a good debate, actually. Is it worth confusioning your scouting there? Because I mean, I think confusion's probably the best one. Because what are you going to do with those two guys? They'll be annoying. They can maybe attack
Yeah,
Dale,
they'll
but like,
retake Dale,
yeah,
but I can do that already
you
with
can
the
do that
North. So
already. And they're going to be quite dice intensive to use because like half movements are quite valuable for the free people. So yeah, that's good. So you
I
get
do get
one,
one.
and I get two. I get 2 hits. You get no hits back, but I guess one from confusion. You sneak away to the Vale of wherever the hell that is. Oh, then I forgot to move a guy into Conquer, so I had to do that as well. So this army is like, God, look how thinly I'm spread already.
Yeah, and again, as usual, I'm looking at that and thinking sortie, maybe,
Mm,
maybe. I have no quarter. If I roll really good, I kill the Witch King.
yeah, I think it's a
I
consideration.
don't
It's
think it's a good
it's.
move.
I think it's. I probably would. I think if I drew into Dane, if I played Dane, then I would definitely consider
Oh yeah,
sorting totally. Especially if you had the no quarter does make it tempting, to be fair. But yeah, that's But yeah, if you'd got any more hits with those two guys, it would have put you in a very difficult spot, actually. Okay, then I draw into Gron, Day Without Dawn, and you draw Swords and Aerodon. Eagles are coming.
interesting.
Get rid of Eagles are coming. Fellowship, okay, but slow. Rolling, yeah, so my rolls have been pretty brutal early on, to be honest. Like, +3 eyes, +1 Ps. Good armies, at least, I guess. The one positive of all the stuff that's happening up north is that when you played like Mazarbal, I was like, okay, this is going to make my life very miserable, but it is meaning you're committing dice to military more than the Fellowship. So I think that was the
Yeah,
one
and I
kind
don't
of
even have
saving
Gandhi
grace.
yet.
Yeah, like turn 4 and you're still only on step 2 and you're like revealed. Like that was my saving grace. I'm like, okay, this sucks, but there is like a caveat.
And once again, I risked no Strider in the lead, but I figured this time, okay, I don't actually have like muster dice I want to be using
Yeah,
elsewhere, so I'm willing. I kind of do want to kill Gandhi if I can,
yeah,
and it
definitely.
worked out with the roll.
Yeah, that worked out well. Even if it's a bit slow, like the roll works really nicely. Um, so you hide. I want to take down Carrick. So I've got at some point I didn't mention I got Shadow's Gather. I must have drawn that. So I think my plan here was to ideally use Shadow's Gather to get the South Rune guys up to Erebor. And that way I can it'll be really efficient. But the problem is
Yeah.
like the South runs are really far from war at the moment, and I'm not rolling any musters right now. so I'm kind of doing other stuff.
And you can't even get Saruman.
Yeah, and I can't even get Saruman this turn as well, so that sucks. I think that getting a guy in Carrick is good. Where'd you get the other?
And I had one more elite. I thought about putting that there, but you've left Gundabad open and Moria's effectively open. I was like, maybe I can do something else there, save the elite for later.
So are you thinking about maybe doing some kind of? Okay, I get you. Yeah, doing some sneaky shenanigans. I'm like, I gotta kill these mofo's at some point, so get it done. You scouts
And
away.
so I just scouts away.
That's also really annoying. It's like the cards you drew were almost like designed to be as annoying as possible.
Oh, it was great.
Yeah, it was interesting for the shadow perspective. So you move, and thanks for reminding me. That was very kind of you, because I genuinely might have forgotten. I committed so much to that as well.
Well, I kind of want you to hit, so.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, I guess you want to get Gandhi as well, so I don't hit. And then so this is really stupid. I was just so excited about having a tile drawing card when you were going into Moria. I didn't consider the fact that, like, revealing you into Moria is bad because it gives you insta Gandhi. And looking back, I don't think I would have done this. I think giving you that die is so
maybe
valuable.
even just wait a couple dice to see if I do anything.
Yeah,
because you could even save it till the last thing when even if I move again and get through Moria, you still play it on the other side and it's still just as good or near.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I think I was just so caught up in the idea of actually revealing you in Moria and getting all the extra tiles, that I didn't. It was I think this is just a straight up error on my part. I didn't. I was looking too much into like my own dice and not yours. So yeah, I reveal you. So on the one hand, good, and I say maybe a bad move in hindsight.
And I
Morital.
risk not taking Gandhi on the first one.
Yeah, that was risky. I don't think I would have risked that, to be honest, but it paid off.
I think I just got excited.
Yeah, we were both getting quite excited, I think. Yeah, I mean, the odds were in your favor, to be fair, but they were like, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 that would have been horrendous.
Basically a 50-50.
Yeah.
So then he dies to the one.
So I'm sure people in the comments will be like, yeah, that was a bad decision. There's Gandhi. It's not too late this time. That's all right. So yeah, you thought about. I would have been tempted to go. I mean, if you'd gone Woodland Realm there, it would have really sucked. But it would have just put me off. It would have just meant I never went Woodland Realm ever. Like, not even considered it. So maybe that is a waste in itself, because then you're not protecting Rohan.
Yeah, but I figure, Lorien's gonna. The elves are so far from war. You can make that effectively him doing nothing for a long time.
Yeah.
And if I don't put him in Fangorn, all of the stuff down there, in particular Isengard, just is never threatened and can empty entirely. And so I figured Fangorn to at least keep you honest.
Yeah, and already like this army's already scary, and it's not like a big army. So like, if I was to attack this, it wouldn't be for ages anyway. So yeah, I think you made the right choice. Anyway, so I get some extra rerolls on you, because I kind of didn't have much else to do with that die, and I might as well.
Yeah.
Turn 5, I think it is. Yep. So you get the Grey Company and Kidan's ships, and I get Denthal's Folly and Morgul Wound. Oh my god.
Yeah, and I threw the one of those. Grey Company, yeah.
Oh yeah, of course. So yeah, no, that's probably the most like discarded card in the whole game. Definitely one of. Okay, so I think what was I thinking here? Still got lots. I mean, that's in a way having 3 eyes in this turn. I wasn't too upset about it because it at least gets me 3 rerolls. But yeah, +4 on P's is not great.
Yeah, and I did notice. I was counting your dice on this one. Oh, you're good. I was counting your dice and making sure, like, okay, either he gets the Essenes to war,
yeah,
or he gets Saruman.
That's it.
He can't do both.
Yeah, and maybe I should have just rushed the Southlands and Easterlings straight down and like not worried about Saruman this turn. But I didn't.
An extra die is so hard to fight.
That's the thing. An extra die is so valuable long term. But and I think my other thought was like, whatever I do, there's stuff you can do to counter it anyway. So like, if you attack into Dale, I'm still going to be too slow to get these guys to come in here straight away anyway. Because you could, in theory, attack into Dale with your first die, then attack into
Yeah.
Erebor with your second die, and I can't do anything. So maybe that was my thinking.
And this ended up being basically a perfect roll because I do exactly what I'm about to do.
Yeah, yeah. So the roll worked out really nicely. So you attack, and again, I'm kind of like, okay, well, not moving much again, which is I'm okay. But I guess against 3 eyes, you probably don't want to move twice
Against
anyway.
3 eyes from Moria,
Yeah,
I ain't doing nothing.
yeah. So yeah, I think that's actually a nice use of a sea die. So we both roll terribly. You press. I decide to scamper away. You move all your northern boys in. You decide to leave one behind, and I'm like, oh Jesus. Can't
And I,
remember.
and I was like, I was staring at Woodland Realm, being like, that's too small. If he gets around me, that's gonna fall. So that's why I
Yeah,
left the one regular there.
yeah. I think that makes sense. And then I play this. I say I really don't want to do this. I think it's a must now because the way I figure it, like attacking into Dale with this army is too risky because it's too small.
Yeah, very.
But I need to attack into Dale like before you can get too many musters, and I can't get the South runs to war now, so I need to do something to get like an army that's capable of doing stuff. So that was handy. I leave one behind, and
And I think
then
that was a good move. That really surprised me.
yeah, I mean I was lucky to have the card, but the problem is you can still get like an absolute beefy army here by doing that second. Part of me was like, oh god, I should have just if I hadn't left the guy in Carrick, would you have still moved everyone in? Or would you have maybe
Ooh,
left a guy to go to Carrick?
I would have almost certainly left a guy to go to Karak, and if nothing else, threaten Gundabad.
Oh yeah, good shout. Okay, so that was justified then. Because afterwards I was like, oh darn it, I could have sent everyone. So then, so you're making me use all my good cards here because then I attack Dale. Let's have a look at your cards. So you've
And I
got
was very sad because I want to play Help Unlooked For right now.
yep. Okay, so I'm glad I attacked straight out. Then that was justified. Cool. From Iron Hills, you madman. And then okay, so Dread and Despair against. So okay, that's nice. The advantage does nothing. Nice for me, obviously.
Yeah.
So yeah, it hurts to play Dread and Despair like this, but I think it's a good time to use it.
Yes. Agreed.
So that was good. Forfeit 3, get 3 hits. Very happy with that. Then you get 1 back. So that probably was kind of annoying for you.
Yeah. Yeah. And I sat here for a long time thinking. First of all, I made sure I killed a dwarf regular,
Oh yeah,
so I can have some change later.
that's good thinking
But
actually.
the I played an IRL game yesterday where the dwarves didn't have change and needed to retake Woodland Realm and had to reduce their elites
Ah,
for 2 hits.
that's painful. Yeah. And
Um.
that's why people often,
So
when you get that Swords and Eredor, they put an elite in Ered Luin for that exact reason.
yes. Yeah. Um. So yeah, I really wanted to play Help Unlooked For, but even at this point, it's almost not even actually that great of an attack. So
Yeah. I think if I were you, you say it in the chat here actually, like looking at it now, you say should have held advantageous position. Yeah, I think if you were considering there might be a round 2, then that would have been great. So I think
because if there was a round 2, I'd stay here all day.
that's it. You would have stayed with the
With that
advantageous,
position.
wouldn't you? Yeah, totally. And I think that would have been the right choice. And then you sneak away to Dale. And this, spoiler alert, I think I make a mistake here. I make a strategic error by only sending one guy. I mean, it's a tricky one, right? I mean, there's no like great answer here, but I think in retrospect I should have sent 3. 3 would have been the magic number,
Yeah.
I reckon. What do you think?
But it puts you down to 4, and like while you're unlikely to die in the sortie, I'm absolutely willing to do that sortie at that point, right?
True, but I think I'd be willing to gamble the odds of I figure the odds of you getting 4 hits on 3 dice. I think I'd be willing to risk that.
Oh no, yeah, you won't die, but if I get 2, you're
True,
absolutely retreating,
totally,
and
but
then I'm mustering the dwarves.
that's true. But the way I'm thinking is that I'm going to use this to get the South runs one step down. Next turn, I'm fully hoping to get these guys involved. So I was thinking like
Yeah, yeah.
if I go down to 4, I would hope, and it's also kind of the perfect number to get this 6 into there.
Yeah.
So that would have if you know the stars aligned and everything had gone my way. You know, notes to viewers, it didn't. Then that would have been split. So yeah. Anyway, so I think that was a mistake. I think it
Yeah,
would.
I think at least one more would have been a good idea.
Yeah,
Two more.
at least yeah. I think either 2 or 3. I mean, I think with 2, it probably still goes pretty badly for me. So you move, missed, and then the juicy 6th. I love that Nazgul.
Yeah, it was so frustrating.
Yeah, I was very pleased with that because it's, you know, when you do like I use a whole die to move some guys to chase the fellowship and you get nothing for it, it feels painful. Like to actually get, it
Yeah.
feels like it was all worth it. Um, uh,
Yeah, forget the shadow, the stronghold reroll.
that's it. Yeah. So every little helps here. So
Yeah,
that was a nice tile draw as well for me. The eye, and then you draw
you
into a
get the
0.
reveal, but at least the 0.
Yeah. So and you say it here, was just about to say you're getting good draws. Obviously, like a 3 would have been pretty great there, but I don't mind getting these low tiles out because usually, unless you get crazy luck in Mordor, like having a hunt pool that's without zeros is kind of
Yeah,
nice. If I can, unless you, sometimes what happens is the free people then just cruise all the way to Mordor without getting hit, and then you're like, okay, I really, really wish I got a 3 there.
yeah.
But
Well,
that doesn't happen.
yeah, and I'm looking at that hunt pool and thinking, I feel like I'm doing okay. I feel like I'm doing pretty good, but that's because I've been hitting all the low numbers. So
Nah, yeah, there's
I'm
still
gonna
some
get
nice
hit with
tiles in
some
there.
high stuff later.
Yeah, so I've just got to hope I keep hitting you. So we talk about that. You reveal into my army, you hide, and then what do I do with the last? I think I get the south ones down. Yeah, so actually, that was a total misclick. I genuinely thought I put them here, so I must have accidentally moved them all the way.
No, yeah, it's just a misclick.
So we've gone to turn 6, Rise of Theoden and Mirror Galadriel. So I'm trying to think, did you roll a will last turn?
I did not.
So I shouldn't have. Oh, God, yeah, that justifies my stupidity of getting Gandhi, letting you get Gandhi.
I
And
get rid of mirror because I'm not going to crown the heroic.
yeah,
That's not going to do a lot.
I get Black Captain and Monsters Roused. And you get this. Okay, you would have got Gandhi this time, I guess. Well. um,
Yeah, and happy to get 2 wills when you're still not quite everyone's at war. So that's nice.
yep, that's true. That's true. So yeah, I do have Day Without Dawn. But anyway, so and I say, oh god, this is like literally deja vu. It's like I think you have the exact same sized army as well. It feels like it anyway.
I effectively do. Yeah.
Yeah. So and this is total deja vu because neither of us hit again.
Yeah.
So you do the same thing you did last time. This time with this, I feel like a slightly bigger army. You don't leave anyone behind this time.
And actually, a little thought here with those days. It's only one eye. I could be bum rushing Mordor. What do you think of the retake Dale here, as opposed to that?
Well, I think this is another reason I was like, okay, this is wasting a huge amount of my good um good cards and a lot of my time. But the fact that you're having to use character dice when you've only got one eye,
Mhm.
I'm kind of happy with that. I'm like, it's kind of
Yeah,
silver lining to a shitty situation.
because
Um,
Airborne's going to be not trivial to take,
mm,
and you're going to be several moves doing that. With all these attacks, you can get one of them. You can get your army to Airborne and attack
yeah.
it, and probably take it down.
By
The
God, you've wasted so. I mean, it's turn 6, and I've committed so many resources to so far getting nothing. I'm on. I mean, it says I'm on 1, but I'm actually on 0. So
Yeah, and Woodland Realm is safe
yeah,
with just all the Northmen in there. So maybe I should have just bum rushed, especially with Strider still in the lead. I can get 3, maybe 4 movement out of this.
I mean, looking at it, the situation right now, I think. What dice did you use to move to Dale?
Well, oh, will
That
so
was
you
a
can't
will. Okay.
deal out on me.
Yeah. So I mean, considering you've invested so much,
I
I can
think that
totally
move,
see
maybe
taking
that one
Dale,
move.
and then I can't remember because sorry, I thought you had a Palantir to play help and look for because you're going to have to use a different die.
Yeah,
It's a if help and look for could have been like a muster die, that would have been amazing for you.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
So then I play Southern
But anyway,
Seaslings. I attacked.
yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, and you did hold off. Yeah, you retake Dale, or at least attempt.
Yeah, so my thinking here was like, I didn't consider help and look for, but I was thinking, well, obviously you're going to muster this, and one more muster gives you an extra dice in combat. I was thinking, I don't have a protective card this time, like Dread and Despair,
Mm.
but if I can just get like, I don't know, let's say I get 3 hits, then I might be able to do the same thing and press you off and do what not make the same mistake again.
Yeah.
But we do Desperate Battle into Daylight, and it goes like this. I get 1 hit, and then you get 4 hits. Which is like, yeah, for me, other than like, some kind of confusion hellscape where I roll like 4 1s against myself, like
Yeah.
that's pretty much like I did consider the possibility of this happening, like, oh, maybe he plays a Daylight, maybe he gets 4 hits, probably not gonna happen, I'll probably be okay. And then that's exactly what happens. So that was horrendous, and I say basically worst case scenario, stop. So you must have been like licking your lips right there.
I was so excited.
And then of course you play. Then you say no, this is the worst case, and then you play help unlooked for. And it's funny. This is what I was going to say earlier because I don't want to give it away. Is I played 2 games in a row. I think it was in my last video actually against Lucky Roods, where the Free People's player has played help unlooked for from Dale into Erebor, which is quite
Oh, that's
unlikely.
great.
Sorry, I forgot. So thanks for letting me draw the card there. That was kind.
Oh no, yeah. I don't want to win it, even if it's a tournament. I don't want to win on a missed timing there.
Yeah, and it was pretty much straight after that. But yeah, I was actually thinking, you know what card I could really do with right now? I could really do with the Shadow Lengthens. I just really, I just wanted the, I wanted Shadow Lengthens like with the South Runs at War and like 1 die earlier, and it would have been perfect. But nope. So card it. I mean, yeah. What are you going to really play there? I think
Yeah.
that makes sense. Come on, 5s. You get 2 hits. So okay, the Witch King is not dead. Thank the Lord. I get no hits back. Have to run away. I'm like, oh god. And you go who to
And I think
bring.
about what to move in, but I go with none because I don't need one big stack. You're obviously going to run away,
Yeah.
and even if you don't, the Northman can take you. Yeah, so I go with none.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. I wouldn't accept just surrender. And I say I
Yeah.
knew it was risky going for that Desperate Battle, but I didn't think it would go quite that badly. Yeah, because the funny thing is, if I hadn't played the Desperate Battle, it would have actually been fine. And now I have to evacuate the Witch King. So this is kind of a clumsy way of doing it, but there was some logic to it. I have seen people leave. I think there's another video I made where someone just left the Witch King in this situation, and it's just way too risky. Cause I presume you
Oh,
probably would have
it was.
attacked out of Dale, wouldn't you? Maybe.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I thought so. So I do a weird Black Captains where I move him to East Rune, move Summon Nazgul to South Rune, and then move like some of the army across. So yeah, a bit of a strange one. You're like, why would
Well,
you
and
do
then you,
that?
you put some guys back, and I was like, "There's only one card. There's only one reason he would do that, right?"
Yeah. So
So
you must
it
have seen it
telegraphed
coming.
a little bit.
Yeah. And I also left enough so I could do 1 muster of an Oliphant to kind of maximize it as much as possible. So get the South runs down. I should have used. I can't remember what die I was talking about. I think I wanted to
I
save
think you wanted to
a
play
Palantir for
a
Shadow
sword.
Lengthens.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, that was probably it. Oh god, what happened here? Okay, so you move the Fellowship. They're fine. Get a Southron. Sorry, an Oliphant. You say, I think you know what I'm doing, so I think you probably predicted, yeah. I hit you. It's an
Yeah,
eye.
this hit kind of sucked, but what are you gonna do?
Yeah, this was unfortunate timing because you're on 3. So naturally, I then play Morgul Wound, which is like, as everyone knows, that's like the best time to play Morgul Wound.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, that hurts.
And I'm thinking, man, this is. I feel like I'm doing really good, but that's a lot of corruption. I really need Athelas. That's what I was really hoping for in the
Oh
next little bit
yeah,
here.
yeah, that's the card you really want right now because yeah, being on, even though you've got like a pretty healthy Fellowship, losing Legolas to do his amazing mission has made you a little bit thinner.
Yeah.
So yeah, that does definitely hurts. Then I do my shadow lengthens thing. I was like, what the hell am I going to do with the other two?
I was thinking the exact same thing when you played
Yeah, so I
that.
guess I'll move the Nern guys, give them something to do for once. And then, oh, thank you. I also forgot to do that.
Yeah, no worries.
You get an elite into Erebor, of course. Great play.
Yeah.
Classic.
Because I was saving for a little bit, maybe I hide with it, but no, you gotta get another guy in Erebor.
Yeah, totally. And that also, again, like justifies all the stuff you've been doing up here. I think that's great. And I say, good God, you've done a good job of wasting my time in Jew. Like, yeah, this is not how I envisioned this going. I mean, obviously, some of this is my own making, but like, I've committed. Like, think about all the cards I've used at this point. I've used Shadows Gather. I've used Shadow Lengthens. I've used, I think, both of the Nazgul Fly Around and
Ron,
Attack cards. I've used Grond
yeah.
for a combat effect. I've used a Desperate Battle. I've used like, it's crazy. It's crazy. I mean,
And you own nothing.
and
You
I'm
have
on
won nothing.
0. I'm literally on 0. I mean, we never bothered to move it back,
Good
but
day,
yeah.
sir.
Yeah, so I was like, I didn't feel that. I felt like I was in an okay situation because you hadn't really defended elsewhere. I felt like I pretty knocked down Lauren pretty quick, but I was like, but at the same time, like, I need to get something out of this Jew assault, otherwise I'm completely screwed.
Yeah, and you look tapped out, but we both know you have, or at least you're telegraphing hordes from the east.
Right. Well, I didn't have it at that point. Oh,
Yeah, and that which is crazy.
yeah. Yeah, I didn't have it at that point. I was thinking this army could come over to, later on if I needed reinforcements, but yeah, so anyway, we discussed a bit of what was going on in the chat. Then I attack into Erebor. I figure I really want to get Erebor down before.
Are you hitting Erebor? I think
Yeah.
you're hitting Dale there.
No, I
I
think
think you're hitting
it's.
Dale.
Am I hitting Dale? Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Okay.
That's because I was so surprised.
Yeah, I'm
I
surprised
thought
at
you were gonna hit Dale
myself.
for sure.
I think my thinking was there, like, I need to remove your muster points for next turn.
Yeah.
Like, I can always get reinforcements to Erebor if I need to, but if you can keep mustering Dale and make it, again, get it up to 5 dice, you've still got another elite, like, it's going to make Dale such a pain in the ass, and it could mean you retake the whole of the Jew line.
Yeah.
So, I
And I
used...
didn't have any defensive cards. It was kind of annoying.
That was handy, yeah, so you didn't have much in the way of defensive cards at that point. So, I roll pretty badly, get 1 hit. So, our combat rolls, I feel like, have been quite bad all around. We both... I'm
Yeah.
3 people -4, so you're doing bad. I'm -2. So yeah, we
But
suck.
the low numbers have generally happened when it didn't matter.
Yeah.
Like on Dale.
That's true. And back to what roll. So this time, yeah. So I
Yeah,
do
again, I
take
want to
3 this
hold.
time. And that's when that's part of the reason I had these 2 guys here. I was kind of thinking, God, I wish I could have used that Shadow Lengthens more effectively. Maybe I should have waited, but I feel like
Oh, yeah.
I had to just get stuff going this turn.
Yeah.
I couldn't give you time to muster. So we go on to turn 7. You get Thranduils and Ents. I get Horde from the East and Nazgul Search. So yeah, perfect
You
timing for
draw
Nords.
horde. Wow.
Yeah, that's
I
big.
was certain you just had it in hand.
No, that was a lucky draw. And you say we kept totally. And then I roll this insane roll. Beautiful.
Oh, that was so fun to see.
And you get this mixed roll, I guess.
Great turn for running though.
Yeah,
With Strider.
that's true. Yeah,
The musters weren't going to do me any good.
that's a really good point. At this point, you just want to run like fun, I think.
Yeah.
Let's get that Day Without Dawn done.
Yeah, and I specifically left the will because I figured if you were going to burn the day,
Oh
you
man,
have all these
that was a straight mistake. I literally forgot I had Day Without Dawn. That's
I
really
figured
dumb.
I'd tempt it out because if I can make if I can make it gone, the one move wasn't going to make the
You
difference.
even
this
said
round.
it. Get that Day Without Dawn. Okay, I don't know what's going on with my brain at this point. I've got all these Palantirs. I'm amazed I didn't play that. That's a really bad misplay from me, especially when I got all these Palantirs. Yeah, absolute no brainer. I think I discarded it later actually.
Well, yeah, we'll see what happens. I don't remember
Yeah,
specifically.
so that was okay. I need to add that to the list of dumb stuff that I do. So anyway,
yeah, I gave you one turn to do it, but then I was like, well, I'm going to move. So
yeah, standard. So I do hit. Maybe that was the big brain
yeah.
play. I knew you were gonna get hit. You get Gimli as a random. So that's pretty good. About as good as it
So
gets.
that actually makes the 3 draw not bad.
Yeah, that's cool. Then I play Horde. Yeah, I don't know why I didn't play. It's not like I was like I had use for all of these Palantirs. I should 100% play Dawn that day without Dawn there. Yes, I'm literally at the. I've got no regs left in the force pool
Yeah.
for the South runs. That's crazy.
But how will you play musterings of a long-planned war?
God, that's insane the amount of mustering they've been doing. Snake Eyes, you get a nice couple of moves there. So yeah, I could have avoided that if I'd been a bit smarter. Start moving dudes. You play File. I get Balrog as a card
Yeah, you
draw.
draw into Balrog, yeah.
Move my guys to get this nice setup. So that was looking back, that was a pretty damn lucky draw because that was perfect for this situation actually.
Yeah, if you didn't have that, this is actually still pretty weak and pretty takeable.
Yeah, totally. I mean, it would have been so slow for me to get Oliphant. I would have had to just muster a bunch of Oliphants and send that as a combined army. Probably would have taken like 4 more dice or something stupid. So yeah, massive. Okay. I then draw another strategy card. I think I don't want to go straight into combat with a Deadly Strife. I wanted to play something else first, so I went with a card draw. You think about getting the elves down, then you change your mind and play Thranduils and draw into scouts. Go for Erebor. What cards do you have? So I remember what you played here.
Yeah, and I thought about this one for a while. The elves aren't at war; they're not even close to war. Even when it'll take you taking Lorien for them to go to war. Gondor's only one from war, so I think I end up burning the Kirdans here.
Yeah, I think that's totally justified. The fact that I'm not even in Umbar anymore, the fact that you've got Gondor almost a war, and you've got
Riddle in play.
Yeah, so I think that's much more that's pretty justified. You get 2 hits with it, so damn right.
Yep.
I get 4 though, so that's a good relentless. That's really good relentless. You get no hits
and
back.
And then
there.
I don't.
So you got your 2 sweet 6s on. Usually that never happens. The charge usually is the one that sucks, and then it's the combat roll. And then we get a draw into Great Host.
So I just sack the reinforcements and the casualties. You got to keep the dice. So
yeah. Do I play the Great Host here? Oh no, I go for the Deadly Strife. I think the reason I did that is because I just didn't want to risk. If I played Great Host and then it doesn't work, if I have a really bad roll, and then you hit me back even if 3 times. Yeah, exactly. It just prolongs it and means I could be left with a really tiny army. So at least this way, you get 3 back, but I
you almost didn't get your 3.
Yeah, that would have been rough. That would have been really rough, actually. But just got over the line. Hooray! I've taken a stronghold on turn 7. Woohoo! That is efficiency. The world was young, the man's green. Funeral Dirge for Erebor. Is that actually the lyrics from something?
It's a Durin's song.
It's that Durin's song. Right, nice.
Yeah.
Deep cut.
And I can almost sing it, but I did have to go double check the lyrics for that.
Would you like to give the viewers a little taste, Ituralde? Sam? Gonna give us a song?
Oh, no. Let me be clear. I know the words, not you don't want to hear me singing.
I thought you meant you were gonna give us a little taste. All right, so we go on to turn number 8. I'm feeling pretty bad at this point. I'm like, Fellowship's doing pretty good. I'm too slow, not feeling good.
And I have There's Another Way in hand now.
Yeah, and the cards I've got
code's still there.
I mean, I've got Balrog for Lorien, that's good. I've got Nazgul Search to slow you down, that's good. So I'm kind of got some useful cards, but I think in another game
and Day Without Dawn.
Yeah, in another game, the Day Without Dawn, not playing that here could have really, I don't know. Well, we'll see. And you say at least cruel weather, very much possible. So you move first, which I think is the correct play.
Gotta get that will gone.
I get a hit, and it's a 3, which is awkward. Yikes.
Yeah.
Random, and I get Strider, so that's very opportune timing. I'm given you have 1 more movement, and I've got the Nazgul Search.
Yeah,
yeah, that sucks.
Although it would have hurt almost just as much if you get a Hobbit. I was looking at that.
That's true. You get the Hobbit, then you're up to 8, and then if I get a Candles of Corpses or something like that, you're almost dead. Like,
Yeah, and I don't have Athelas,
yeah, and there's also
so
like
I would need
Candles for
it.
Corpses and Isildur's Bane are like in this pool are actually stronger than usual because there's quite a lot of big
Yeah.
tiles. So I then play Nazgul Search, which is kind of beautiful. I'm very lucky there because I don't have any sea dice, so I wouldn't have been able to move leadership to Lorien without that.
Oh, nice,
So
yeah.
that worked out
Yeah, that
really,
worked out well.
really well. And then I draw.
I think that's the last move the Nazgul card, I think.
I think in your shoes here, I might have. Oh, sorry, you flipped straight away. Yeah, you did the right thing.
Yeah.
But then I drew, and then you passed. I think I would have moved again here because there's a chance of me getting a card like Isildur's Bane.
Well, so actually, I figured you have all these Palantirs. Either I move and am safe, and you just roll it down for cruel weather, or have it already.
Yeah,
I was kind of figuring like, don't want to give you a ring too early in the round if I can help it.
true.
Maybe you're right.
But the thing is, like, if hypothetically I play a card like Isildur's Bane right now, I know that you need to use a ring to move. So whatever I have, if I have Corweather or not, I know I'm going to be able to use it on the last turn.
No, that's a good point. That's a good point.
Do you know what I mean? So I was like, I
Yeah.
would if I'd had. It's the kind of the ring, the knowledge that you had to use a ring gave me like a
That's good. And if
insurance.
I move and I get revealed, which is kind of the best
Then Cruel
scenario
Weather's
almost.
useless anyway. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point.
Um. So
Well, and the fact that you drew a character card there, I was like, oh, he doesn't have cruel weather. Great, I don't have to worry about it.
yeah, I was just going for like anything useful, like Cruel Weather, like Isildur's Bane. They're basically the two best things I would have hoped for. I mean, a red tile would have been nice just to kind of get something in the pool.
Yeah, preempt the pool. Yeah,
But anyway, so now I want to try and cycle cards as well. Cycle C
yeah.
cards. So I take Lorien, and I've got the perfect card for it. So Balrog into
Oh yeah, that's
Confusion.
true. You get the reroll and you get you get the full effect of Balrog and you get the redraw.
Yeah, so it's literally the absolute perfect card for this entire situation. Like the fact that it's a C card, the fact that it's in Lorien, and the fact that I then draw into this.
Yeah,
Oh God, looking back, yeah, it's this and the East. I mean, I've been through like half the deck, so it's not a crazy draw, but it's very lucky
yeah,
nonetheless.
yeah. I basically assumed you had it until you drew the C.
Yeah.
Until you drew with a Palantir.
So anyway, I kind of rushed through that combat to show what happened, but I think it was a pretty standard. I think I got one hit
Yeah, you get some hits. I got one or two.
to play the Great Host, and then this is a good combat for me. I just get a straight wipe
Yeah,
out, so that's rough. So you've had some pretty
which
bad combat dice. You're -6 on fight, so yeah, -6 on combat. You've only won 3 5s all game. Wow. So my dice haven't been good, but yours have been really bad.
when I was actually almost happy you killed Lorien because then no more cycling.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I couldn't cycle this turn unless there's literally no way because I've used both of the Nazgul cards. Then you draw a card. Were you searching for a specific card then?
I'm looking for Bilbo's. I'm looking for Athelas still. I mean, even if it's worse.
Just any nice cards that will help you,
Yeah, even a
basically.
blue
Yeah.
tile. I mean, I'm not. What am I going to do with the Palantir play? I believe there's another way there.
Yeah, I think that's a good play.
And I get the ever popular wizard staff, so that's a useful discard.
Totally. So then I get the chance to play. So I was quite happy with that because I think I looking back, I think I should have played earlier, in case you'd already
Yeah,
got
just
into.
in case.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get a 2, so that's good. Gonna get a little tight here, you say. You think?
Yeah, and I think about it. And it's like, well, I got to go for it.
I think even though I'm going slow, I think you do have to do it because this army is like pristine. Rohan's a big target.
Rohan.
I've got 2 big armies here to take something and go Gondor.
And even
Like,
though Dale is like retakeable for sure because
yeah,
the elves are now at war, you're going to take Pelargir and Edoras, so it doesn't really matter anymore.
and it's still going to be hard to take
Erebor,
back Erebor. Like, you could take back Dale,
yeah,
but
Erebor's not really on the table.
it's possible, but it would be a huge dice commitment and quite risky because you'd leave Wood and Realm empty. So you say few, and I'm like also like few because it means I can play for weather. So that was a huge moment in the game. I think the way
Yeah,
this
yeah.
the way this all worked out for you was very unfortunate. Like the exact dice, like the fact that I had Nazgul Search and then I had for weather. I might if I had used Day Without Dawn the previous turn, I might not have been in this situation. I probably could have.
I mean, I'd be one move back. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I kind of made my own mess there, but yeah, definitely lucky there. And then you draw another. So yeah, I think you're doing the right thing, just drawing C cards at this point.
Yeah, just looking for. It's unfortunate I get
Yeah,
axe and bow when don't have either of those guys.
yeah, it's always the way you get the one for the guy you don't have.
Yeah.
Kill with the staff. Yep. I start moving armies. A little bit worried about Faramir's, but I figure like you can't just live in fear forever and just leave this army here until you get two moved. Okay, Shadow draws Breaking and Half Orcs, and then you draw as the Stewards and Dane. So Dane's a bit late there. We
Yeah.
break. You get rid of House of Stewards. Yeah, I think those are the best cards to get rid of. You declare away from the Nazgul.
And you kept rolling so many eyes on convenient turns for that. That was frustrating.
Yeah, I've rolled a lot of eyes all game. But you're right though. I think it was often the turns when I'd rolled few eyes were turns when it was really convenient for you to do military stuff. So it kind of
Yeah.
it ended up like you had to either choose between taking back Dale or moving the Fellowship. I guess like there was that one turn earlier, right?
Yeah.
So you get Gondor down. Then I play Frogs of
Yeah.
Crebain. So this is
Yeah, and I definitely should have moved first here. That was a mistake.
yeah, I mean, we've gone through like I've made a bunch of mistakes this game, but I think that was definitely a mistake on your part. I think just this is one of the rules I wrote down because I've said this before. Like I'm going to make a video one day of like called like how not to suck as free people, and there's so many like micro errors, and I think they're so important when playing as free people. And like this is a big one that I've done so many times. Is you're like, oh, I don't need to rush the move, and then the shadow does something or plays a card or gets a reroll, and then you're like, oh sweet, like oh god, like that's so annoying. And in this
Now
case,
I do have a minor thing here because I did sit and think on this one. I wrote
yeah,
a
yeah.
note
So
on
what?
it.
Sorry, I don't mean to like just speak for
No,
you,
no, you're
but
good.
yeah,
No, no, no. I do think it would. I mean, in retrospect, it was a bad move. So I'm looking at your dice. I'm looking at my dice, and I can't decide whether you're going to go Gondor or Rohan.
right,
Because if you go Eastemnet Druidin and you just jump on in without me getting an advancement,
yeah,
then Minas Tirith falls, and with those three stacks, Pelargir and Dol Amroth will fall eventually. There's nothing I can really do to prevent that. And I haven't seen
mm,
Corsairs yet. So if I let you just move that direction,
right.
I'm worried that I fall. So I but I
So you
so I
want to
need to
preserve
delay around.
dice. You want to preserve dice to. You want to delay around. Sorry, I'm jumping in.
No, no, yeah, just well, so I was thinking about okay, I wish I had another hybrid so I could get Edoras into Helm's Deep and Fords Helm's Deep. What do I do? Put them both in West Emnet. If I do that, you
Yeah,
just move to East Emnet and go around me. You go maybe even take Edoras on your way. It's like I need to wait a turn to see what you're doing. But there was no world in which I don't move the Fellowship.
totally.
So
And I
maybe that's
suppose
still
like
the answer.
I mean, what cards could I've even had? You've got two dice, so like two characters. If I'd played hypothetically, I don't know, like I think I've already played Orc Patrol, but Falthing from the
You did
Deep.
Orc
I
Patrol.
could play Falthing from the Deep. Like that's the
Yeah,
kind of card you'd be worried about. But there's not that many cards left that I can hit you with. Flux is a bit of a weird one you don't expect.
yeah.
Um, but
So anyway, that was my thought process.
yeah, no, I totally get you. And I was thinking along similar things like where do I go here? What am I actually going to do with these dice to be most effective? So then you move. I play Phlox naturally, and again for the second time in this game, I hit you with like I think that might be the third time I've hit you with the final
Oh,
reroll.
yeah.
Definitely the second or third. So that's a big hit there. And it's like a really nice tile for me. So it's an
Yeah.
eye. Um, go up
So I
to
think about just taking it and then I back out of that because I just can't be this high. I need to risk it. And it's a 2/3 you get a Hobbit. So,
yeah. I think that makes, and also because then you can get a hobbit onto the board, like so, it's kind of
yeah.
nice. So that works out nicely. The hobbit pops over to Osgiliath. Which hobbit is that? Out of curiosity, good old
Pippin. So that
Pippin.
worked out thematically.
Yeah, totally. Maybe he'll start singing. Um, then you hit the other tile. So yeah, so again, you're like hoping to hit the other eye at this point.
Yeah.
And so yeah, that's kind of rough.
I have to take Boromir.
You
I
gotta
mean, at
take
least it's efficient
yeah,
getting down to Gollum, but
but being
still.
here on step 1 is yeah, that's not where you want to be, is it?
And you have 5 dice, you have armies threatening all the things. I'm like,
Yeah.
actually, I don't know. I'm kind of feeling behind the 8 ball here.
Yeah, I think like about 2 turns earlier, it was very much in the balance. I think probably favoring the free people. Um, but with that kind of swing, with me gaining a turn and then getting so much value out of the reveal in Morannon, I think that
Yeah.
definitely swings it like heavily back towards Shadow. So yeah, definitely lucky. But yeah, I mean, Phlox did its job for once.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then I start mustering an Orthanc. You play Ents, so that's nice. One
Yeah.
hit.
Knowing I won't do anything really, but it's mostly just whittle you down,
Totally.
make you keep you honest.
And also means you can get Mithra on the board efficiently as well, so that's cool.
Yeah. And it's not an insta, it's not Hjorndark. So
Ah,
what am
okay.
I going to
It's,
if it was Hjorndark, I'd just keep it.
you'd
But
keep it for the combat, yeah. And then I figure it's of all the options I've got, I figure going in because I know that if I go for Rohan early, you're just gonna move the army in. Wait, what was I thinking?
yeah, I mean, I was looking at a scouts thinking like, oh, okay, I've got a scouts. I
Yeah,
can get back in.
I think I suspected that whatever was going to happen, you'd probably have a scouts. You'd be able to get this army to Western Met, scouts away here, and then take in Helm's Deep, get back into Helm's Deep. So or you could use a ring to do it or something. I figured that it wasn't going to quite work out, so I thought instead this is a good turn to get Minas Tirith under siege.
Mm,
So attack Pelagia. Especially now that you've got this Hobbit in here, I don't want this Hobbit getting into Minas Tirith and
yeah,
activating
yeah.
all of your combat cards, ideally. So I want to make you kind of pay for that. So you
Oh yeah, I
muster.
didn't think about brave stands and all the rest. Yeah, that would have been good to get in there for that.
Yeah, I thought maybe you would have used the half moves to get these guys into Osgiliath and then this guy here.
Yeah, that wouldn't
Um,
have been bad.
that would have been bad, and then it would have could have used, depending on what I did, could have used a ring maybe. So I just moved. What I was a little bit worried about here actually. I don't know if you clocked this, like why I moved one guy here.
Oh yeah, I was. Yeah, I was wishing I was ever so slightly closer to threatening that military victory.
Well, I was just thinking if you had hypothetically had because you have the die for it. If you had through a day and a night, and first thing next turn you
Oh
take.
wow.
That's what I was worried about. If you have through day and a night,
Yeah.
you play it with the final die this turn, move first into Marana next turn, and then you've got this army that's pretty big. You could muster up
Yeah.
loads and loads and loads of elves. Or you could, I don't know, it's unlikely,
I
but
don't even
I
I
just,
don't even need that many. I'm 3 moves from Dol Guldur. Nothing's gonna beat me there. So
yeah, so like, I mean, the danger is I just then take back Willem Ram and win, on
yeah, I
military.
think you're too high. You're gonna win the
Yeah,
tiebreaker.
that's it. I
And
was
I
going to win the
think
tiebreaker.
I'd have to look back on it. I feel like I played it through in a day to night as a confusion
I
somewhere.
think I looked, but I've not been. Let's have a look. Free people
And
cards.
maybe I didn't.
Oh no, you did.
Or I,
I'm so dumb. I think I actually looked at it, and then I didn't actually look at it. I like opened up the disc up on this, and then didn't actually look at the card I was meant to look for. So that was silly of me. But I didn't have a good use of that second movement anyway, so I think it was okay.
yeah, I think
Um,
it was fine.
and you could actually know the other thing was I figured also if I attacked into it and then you scouts, you could
It's
still
away. Yep.
scouts here and then go and take something anyway. So it could have
Yeah,
been
and that
awkward.
threatens taking 4 points kind of weirdly, but
That's true. Yeah, that's true. Um, so then what did I do? I drew a character
so instead you
cards.
go to Fangorn. And actually, I was very happy you went to Fangorn because I figured if you went Minas Tirith, I figured I was done.
Um, oh
I mean,
yeah.
it's close both ways, but effectively 3 full stacks on Gondor. I didn't think it was going to hold.
Oh, that's true. Maybe I should have actually delayed that and got because I thought I went for Minister at this turn, but I was wrong. I must have delayed it. But yeah,
Well, partially because I eat your half moves by mustering in Lothernach and Lamadon.
that's true. Yeah. So I go for Fords Visons to try and combine because I was worried about if I attack here, then you can scouts away there.
Scouts
You,
or whatever.
yeah, it just opens up the potential for you to try and like threaten Lorien. So I
And
thought,
for once, me asking from where you're attacking wasn't a joke.
yeah, exactly, yeah. But I figured if I go here, then you're kind of pressured into taking back, protecting Helm's Deep
Yeah.
naturally. Then I draw into a red tile, which is nice. And because you're revealed,
Yep.
I can play that before you move, which is what I was hoping for. You draw Faramir's. Oh, you did get Faramir's while I still had the armies here. I'll go alone.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, so excited for it too. And I was thinking, well, I can hit North Athelion, and then there's a kind of weird route around, and
Yeah. So were you tempted to
but then
play
the
that?
die roll.
Then yeah. So
Oh, I was super tempted.
you were so committed, I guess, because you have to use one to protect Helm's Deep, right? So that's one
Yeah.
die. Then I do the red tile.
Well, and so what did I do with the first one? I think I hid. No, I'm not even hid. What did I do with the first? Oh yeah. The first one was
protect Helm's Deep, and then the second one.
So I had Faramir's selected. Like I was ready to go.
Yeah.
Like to click on, and I was thinking North Athelion, South Athelion, and then I was looking at this like I'm just going to lose. If I put a Palantir into that, I won't have moved. I won't have gone anywhere. You'll just take Helm's Deep and somewhere else.
I can totally see what you're thinking. You're thinking if you don't move the vegetable at some point, even if you slow me down, you're still just going to bleed out or not get anywhere on the track.
Yeah. So I will go alone to go so I can do There's Another Way. Efficiently use up the Hobbit.
No, I totally see that. I think I would have been just because the army's there. I would have been too tempted and played Faramir's. But I think what you did is like probably the correct play because you got to move those hobbits, man. Yeah. Hobbits have got to move, right?
So get rid of that useless Mary.
Yeah, so Mary just gets like tossed into the volcano or something. There's like,
oh, look, a distraction.
Yeah, just like dead weight. We're like, sorry, Mary, we're gonna have to eat you.
yeah, we're out of lembas bread.
But the positive thing was I then could play breaking.
Not hidden. Yeah.
Yeah. So cannibalizing Mary doesn't even help.
Yeah. So I guess the real play there, if I'm doing that, I should have hidden first, then I will go alone. Then there is another way.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, if we're splitting hairs, that would have been like I mean, I'm probably going to play the breaking at some point, but you gave me a chance to play it now.
Yeah.
And there's a chance, I might have a die to play it later, so that's one thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, it goes to a little dance between 6, 7, and 8, like this turn.
Yeah.
I muster in Orthanc.
Yeah.
Lost the next. And now this is what I was thinking last turn. I kind of wish I had done this last turn because it would have put you in a tricky spot. I think there would have been a smarter play to try and charge into Minas Tirith when you had one hybrid. Because then you would have had to use
your dice.
Yeah. I was going to say, because then if you the hybrid, you would have had to use to muster Minas Tirith, and then next turn, if you hadn't rolled a hybrid, I could then do a straight march into Helm's Deep, if you know what I mean. It would have been a thing. Yeah.
Well, and I was looking at your dice. I was actually quite happy. What I thought you were going to do was effectively empty Orthanc into forwards and half move, 4 guys to Westham Net to go take out Russ.
Oh, I see. Yeah,
because Dale is still thoroughly on the table to put you down 1 point on a round where it matters.
Yeah,
I can absolutely take that.
Maybe that's the smarter play, and I should have just prioritized. Well, let's see what I do. So anyway, attack Losanac.
I mean, putting Minas Tirith under wasn't decent.
The main reason I did it this turn is because I didn't want you to be able to get the Hobbit in there. So I think that was somewhat justified.
Well, and when you did this, I was like, oh, he's thrown the game. I've done it. I'll move out from Dale or from Dol Amroth, or even just risk the 2 attack with Pippin to Pelargir. And once I retake Pelargir, I'll just muster up, and this will be great.
Yeah, because I mean, if I had, you could have. You did have a scouts actually.
I did have a scouts.
Right. So
then you attack, and I think. I'm like, nah, he won't. He's got no leadership. It's on 6s. I don't need to spend the scouts here.
I see. Interesting. Because I was figuring, like, even if you did scouts away, like, if you go to West Horondor, it's not I can probably just attack into it. If you go, I mean, I was pretty more worried about you going to like Druiden Forest and like getting to Fold and starting mustering the Rohan.
Yeah, I thought a little bit about it, or even go to Dead Marshes and trying to go around you.
Maybe go around. But I think that would have, if you'd had Druiden and I, then sure.
Yeah.
But then I rolled 2 6s. Yeah, you don't play the card.
Like,
yeah.
Well, and Faramir's is turned off now, and it's like, shoot.
Yeah, that's unlucky. That's really unlucky. That could be a problem. So then you hide, and then draw an
Or I
eye.
move
Sorry,
rather.
you
Yeah.
move. Sorry, move an eye. Then it's an eye to two reveal. So that's again pretty painful targets. You can't hide with Golem because if you're drawn like a 1 or a 2, you could hide with Golem.
Yeah.
Obviously, file would have been amazing.
Well, but at this point, I just need the speed, right?
That's it. You got to just go. I think. Yeah, you have to move. Yeah, and you say this game is slipping away from me. And I ask if I can kill my own dude, and I do. I
Yep. Yeah.
kill that orc scum in Lords of Eisen because I want to get as many. I leave it a
And
little
and
bit
and again, I
risky,
was
a little
happy.
bit risky by leaving 3.
Well, and again, I was happy. Like Minas Tirith's not going anywhere. I
Hmm.
was glad you spent the half move reinforcing there instead of taking west of that.
Yeah, looking back, like you okay, maybe taking
I wouldn't
Western
even go to
Mat.
war. Rohan wouldn't even be at war then.
Yeah, so I could have taken
Yeah,
Western Mat, and then you still wouldn't have been at war.
but well, maybe that's not even that good because what are you going to do? Take Edoras, put Helm's Deep at war, and I muster in Helm's Deep. Like, so maybe in the end, there's not actually a something there.
I think I had time on my side, and I didn't need to make a mess of Rohan, so I think there were.
Good point. Good point.
Did I use the last die to put Ministerius on the siege? I can't remember.
Your last one was to kill your own guy in forwards and
And
to
and
reinforce.
the other was to reinforce. Okay, so in
So you're
retrospect,
making it more. The half move was efficient. You were going to do that half move someday, but
yeah, it does group up this to make one big army, I guess. But okay, I
yeah.
think it's all right. It's not great. So then I
So,
get.
so I get another Ensign, King Brandsman. King Brandsman, I had thought earlier would have been hilarious to play one of those random turns I hit Dale.
Yeah, I'm very very glad you didn't have that. So glad you didn't have that. And then you have an end card, and I have Pismorder and Palantir. We take a little break. Done something in the bathroom.
Then you roll a billion eyes
Roll a
and
billion
no
eyes
attacks.
and like one attack. So at least I can't remember last turn I could have got. I forgot about So I made God.
Yeah, I
I
think
got to
you
get the
did for. I
mouth.
mean,
I
yeah,
kind
you
of wanted
definitely
to
could
use
have.
most of my attacks last turn. I think it was one of those turns where like every attack did have some value, but I should have probably used that final die. I think I had hybrid die. I
Yeah,
should have used that to get the mouth definitely. Is there going to be a thrilling turn? You hide.
and with that
I
many eyes, even if I'd rolled a bunch of C's, I can't do anything with it.
That's it. I was a little bit worried about a double Ents, so I get an extra must. So then you do play an Ents, and you get 2 hits, so that was kind of justified. You
But it was
then
mostly to do this. So
to do
I've played two
this.
of the three Ents. The last one was Shorndark. I was going to save that for HD anyway, even if I do draw it. And then
Yeah,
with Gandalf in Minas Tirith, that's actually
serious proposition. Yeah,
like a problem. You might not take that ever.
yeah, there's a good chance. I mean, on the good thing for me is that I then bring in the Malta. He's great against Gandhi, so that's one positive.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
And I did have half orcs as well, so I was thinking, okay,
Oh
when
yeah,
this goes down, I can then use half orcs in Minas Tirith to give me
yeah,
3 rerolls against Gandhi, which is pretty good. Um,
that's pretty good.
um,
And you have stack and a half sitting there
yeah,
for
I've
your
got the
third mine.
5 reinforcements. I can, I don't have any Shadows Gather or Lengthen, so it's going to be slow, but I can get reinforcements. You get some reinforcements here. You change your mind, and then you get Rohan down, which is a great play. Yeah, I think that's a really good play to get Rohan down because that forces my hand.
Yeah, yeah.
I
Because I
might
was
have
thinking about
attacked.
retaking Polar Gear, but
Hmm.
it was going to be weird. It was going to take so many dice.
Because what I probably would have done if you hadn't done that is maybe attacked into Helm's Deep, got them
Yeah,
down 1, and then attacked into Western Met, and then you can only muster once, and then I can mop up
yeah,
and then
just
come
take it.
back to finish the job later. Um, so now this pressures me to kind of go Helm's Deep straight away. Put you under siege. Um, I aggressively laugh at you. Um, and then you do a couple of musters.
And this is great because I have a scout, so even if you hit West Net, I can put both guys into Edoras. And if
Yeah.
you don't hit me, I'm just going to keep doing double musters.
Yeah, so even though like not using scouts here hurt a little bit, it paid off, I
It's
think,
a
in
much
the
better
long run.
play, yeah.
Much better play, yeah. So
And unfortunately, of fighting
I think I've
Urukai.
seen another of your games where you were like super patient with scouts. Maybe it was an end card. You were like you're very
No,
patient
yeah,
with a
it was
specific
scouts.
card. It was scouts again. I can't remember.
Yeah, yeah.
I think I made a comment.
Oh
Anyway,
well, it was a scouts and an end. You're right.
and
It
an
was
end
both.
card. Okay, cool. Um, but so You choose no card. So I play Cruel's Death. Luckily, I'm over leadership, so this is kind of perfect for Cruel's Death. Get 2 hits, you get 2 back. Second round, we'll look at the cards. You've got Shield Wars.
Yep. Shield wants the
Up to your
spare, so
eyelids.
I'm burn one of those.
Shield Wall against Desperate Battle. I get 3-1. You get 1 back. And then round
Yeah,
3.
unfortunate that now my next shield wall does nothing, so I don't even bother spending it.
Yeah, and then I raise your hopes. I need to dash them. You get 1 hit back.
Yeah, because your first 5 had no hits. I was like, oh, maybe a whole nother. No, wait, no. Okay.
Yeah, and that would have been quite valuable actually. You then draw a strategy card, draw another scouts.
Yep. And actually, I was pretty happy with that because the Spirit of Mordor.
I was going to say that's good for this army, right?
Yeah, and I was looking like, well, actually, not that many hit points.
Yeah, I mean, if you get a freakishly good Spirit of Mordor, that could be huge on this army. But anyway, attacking the Western Mat using the mouse ability. You scouts away.
Using Grimbjorn, because then I can save the Spirit of Mordor one for next round if it works
Right.
out. So.
I forgot you use scouts there as well. Then you draw into a nice little mustering card as well. For the
And I'd been
Rohan.
drawing strategy cards specifically for that because it was
Yeah.
kind of a mix-up. What do I look for? Bilbo's and Athelas, and a blue tile maybe, but blue tiles are expensive.
It's a tricky one at
Or
this
do I
point
look
because you're
for-
kind of you're racing between surviving on the track and surviving on the field, aren't you? It's a real difficult balance
And
at the moment.
I spent the Red Arrow and Theoden up in the north, so I'm looking
Right.
effectively exclusively for Eomer.
Okay, and you got it. And to be fair, you only had 7 cards left, so it was not even that unlikely. And I think you tripled with the other cards as well.
And then you get a bunch more eyes again.
Yep, loads of eyes. So that sucks for you because you don't.
I need to move now.
This is the time when you really don't want me to be rolling lots of eyes. How do you say could dunk?
Yeah.
You then play
I
Aemers.
think about just manually mustering, but if I do the card first, then the leader's in play in case something goes wacky.
Yeah.
I only have the 2 musters. I really love those 2 other Cs to be hybrids.
And I'm in a tricky fix because this army's like it's just big enough to take this down, but I don't have time to like trap you by putting a guy in fold because then you'll muster again, and then it's a genuine like a fight I could lose, especially because you're rolling on.
Yeah.
You've got the kind of defensive advantage.
Well, and if you split your army and just put one guy over there, maybe I just spend the sword and attack him and kill him and stay in Edros anyway.
Yeah, totally. So I made a slight strategic error here. I was worried about scouts, but like looking back, you've just played the scouts, and who uses a scouts when they've got a 6 defensive advantage? So what I should have done is, yeah, I should have played maybe I don't know. They are terrible, or maybe even I could have probably played Dread and Despair this round. Actually, I think that would have been a smart play. And I'm still cycling C cards.
I think about retreating with the scouts because you're playing a strategy card. If it's a deadly strife, I'm toast.
Mm-hmm.
So I need to survive the round. If I retreat to fold, I can play my muster immediately.
Yeah,
I kind of go back and forth. But you played a card, and I was like, you know what? I think he's got a swarm of bats. I think I'm gonna try and
Oh, so you actually thought I had the swarm? Okay, that's nice. And I think I presume you played. Let's see what you played actually. I think either Shield Wall or Valor are both good here.
Yeah,
you played the Shield Wall. Yeah. That's probably the right play because I think Valor's got value because if you get if I have a really bad because I'm running on obviously on 6s here. If I whiff
that's a good point.
And then you get 3 hits, that halves my army. So almost.
I'm just figuring out preserve the hits. Although you're only rolling on 6s, so is a Shield Wall even going to hit that often? That's a thought.
But I get nothing.
And the Shield Wall doesn't hit, so that really shows me.
I think I should have played Dread and Despair there, actually, looking back. You get no hits. Yeah, your dice have been horrible this game. Really unlucky. You've slightly got them better, but it's still -5, and I'm -2. So yeah, you skulk away. To fold.
Yeah, and I figure you're going to have to split your army, I get my muster, so then...
I was even tempted to actually not, take Edoras just to keep my army big. Then naturally you and I'm like, I've made a mess of this already. This is just going badly. Then I attack fold, and now this is when I want the swarm of bats. Edoras, you madman. Then I played the Dread and Despair, thinking, haha, um, not. I thought you probably would have. I was thinking you probably would have played the scouts in the previous round, but you didn't. So I thought maybe I'm okay. And this is just like for anyone that's like a newer player, this is like War of the Ring 101. This is what I've done here is what you don't want to do in like the way you played this has been excellent. You've handled it really well. You played the cards at the right times. You saved the scouts at the right time. Like I've made a complete mess of Rohan basically, and now you're in a position to potentially retake Lorien, which is exactly what Shadow doesn't want to happen. So I'm
Yeah,
like,
that'll buy me the whole extra round,
yep, and it
and now as
maybe
a
then you
larger
get Bilbo Song, and you've got Mithril. Maybe you know what I mean. You can maybe it gives you hope, right?
so
Um,
I have to move away so you don't just hit me.
yeah, because obviously, oh, that's a good point. I didn't have to worry about scouts anymore because you couldn't have it. You've actually used
Yep,
all the
yep, all 3
scouts.
are in play.
I am, however, at like 9 victory points. I'm like, is there some way of me getting Shire? Like, do I have some
But you
insane
said
way?
rage.
If I muster twice,
Yeah,
can I go
I did remember you
one,
played
two?
rage earlier,
Yeah,
so
I played Rage in combat, so sadly not. Um, I then put the Ringer's Mine in. And you say that pool sucks.
yeah.
You
Yeah,
pass. I was a little bit worried about you taking Dol Guldur here. Again, I was worried about if you like moving once here and then attacking once here. Like
yeah,
you're.
yeah, but where are my other 2 coming from?
It's true. It was a very unlikely thing. And to be honest, it would be hugely risky on your part because you'd be prioritizing attack over defense when you need to get. Yeah, I think that was me overthinking it. I didn't need to do that.
And
Um,
so I figure I move because if I get a low reveal or, a 1, and then I spend it into being a reveal, I don't
yeah,
need to take Lorien. I'm gonna beat you there. The pool, unfortunately, is a like, all the eyes kill me right now, but I have Mithril.
you have
And
Mithril.
not moving is like
You're gonna
I'm
bet
at
that creeps you up to
9.
10.
Yeah, and that's well, especially with this pool. Like, no, I think I gotta take the chance. So I'll take it as my second to last move. So if a
Yeah,
1 comes up, I can make it a 0 and then hide again.
yeah. I think like in these types of games, eh, there's a point when you just if you have horrible pools with big eyes like this, there's a point when you just have to risk it because otherwise you just lose militarily.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
there's a point where you have to just go like, this sucks, but what the hell? I gotta go. And if you do have the insurance of Mithril, um,
yeah.
so I mean, let's look at the odds. So it was like one, two, three, four, five,
4 of the 11.
six like suck to varying degrees.
Yeah,
Four
yeah, and
really, really suck. Two,
4 in the game.
you know it's bad when like the red three and the red one aren't the worst. Like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
um, and so you got four. I'd say you probably got three like legit good tiles, one okay tile, and like one, two, three, four, seven bad tiles.
Even the 3 gray is pretty trash,
Yep, the three grey is pretty
and you get
horrendous.
an eye. So
Got an eye, so naturally you literally have to use Mithril. Um,
yep, yep, or it's GG.
it's GG, and then the game just ends. Like
And we're boom done.
what a. I mean, I wish. I mean, this video is already pretty long, but like, I kind of wish it went on longer. I mean, I'm happy I won, right? But
Oh yeah,
like, I think you deserve more given how well you played it. I think you deserved not to
well,
lose like
thank
that. Um, like overall, I think to be honest, I think you played better than me this game. I think you outplayed me, and I think I
you. Oh
just
well, thank you. I appreciate
I
that.
think I got lucky in a couple of instances. I think I definitely. I mean, the 1-2 combo of Mizarble and Fearfire that was
That was pretty
unfortunate for
fun.
me. If you hadn't got Mizarble, I could have just hung out in Dale for ages, and it would have been a much more normal game because I just would have like I wouldn't have taken the risks that I took in the
You'd
Jew
have a whole
line.
bunch of strong cards to go do other things with.
Yeah, and this army would have been big, so it would have been reinforced by the Oliphants and blah blah blah, the Easterlings. But I think I made a mistake there. I made a mistake with Day Without Dawn. This is the kind of thing about Shadow. Shadow can get away with making mistakes. Free people like
Yes,
can't, you
they
know?
have
Like
more dice to make mistakes with.
yeah, like I made a mistake there. I made a big mistake with Day Without Dawn. I made a mistake here in the way I handled Rohan. Like I'd say if the free people makes any one of those errors in a typical game, that's often like a game losing mistake. Or at least
Yeah.
two of those errors is a game losing mistake.
Well, and this
Um
is what round 12. I can't see it on this screen.
this is round
Is it round?
12. Yeah.
Yeah. So I've had 5 dice, the majority of that, but not actually all of it. So call
Hmm.
it 8 rounds. So I've rolled something like 50 dice. I guess the statistics menu would tell us that too. But if I
Oh
make a
yeah,
mistake with one of my dice, it's 2% of my rolls. It.
totally,
But if
totally.
you make a mistake with one of your dice, it's more like 0.5%.
Yeah, yeah. I've rolled like I don't know, 80% more dice, action dice than you, something like that.
Yeah,
Um, so you've rolled 56, yeah. So like if you times it, yeah. So yeah, because I mean, it was just kind of. I mean, okay, I think there were some little errors, like maybe the allowing me to do something in Daggerlad
yeah.
when I
Not playing
played.
the Gwaihir first round, although the Gwaihir ended up being useful, but sort of or like a preemptive move
When
that would
was
have
the
been helpful
Guahir
in
used? I
Gwaihir.
can't remember. Was that to get
So
Gandhi?
I and then Fangord him away,
Ah,
or
so okay, you held
whatever
that
you want.
Guahir forever, which is I think that's good.
Yeah,
I love that card. But yeah, I thought you. I mean, yeah, I think the way you handled Jew was great. It was just some like minor, like just the tiny stuff like that can just hurt you so much as the Fellowship. It's and you got
well, and you
you got
actually took
punished for it like the so harshly every time that happened. You got punished for it so harshly.
well, I couldn't believe you took do. I had the elves, the men at war, the dwarves at war. I basically mustered out the entire North Pool there, or near
Yeah,
enough.
I mean, people might in the comments might say the fact that I even went for the Jew line at all when you had the North at war was suicidal. Maybe it was. As I said at the top, I think there's an argument for it because the North left
Yeah,
unfettered can prolong the game in their own way by making Shadow's life complicated in other
yeah. And
manners.
once you take Dale, what am I going to do? Muster and Karok? That happens sometimes, but it takes so many dice to make that into a fight, force that matters.
Yeah, and to be fair, I did also have very awkward dice in like the first 3 turns, so my military was like
Yes.
proper slow, so it was awkward for me. Um,
Well, I don't know if you saved it. We did an alternate draw just for kicks
Oh
at
yeah, I
the
think
end
this
here.
should be it. And then
Well, and then I just kind of mashed my face on the keyboard for a little bit there.
yeah, this is a peek behind the curtain. Um, very good game. Yeah,
Well,
it was a
anyway,
great
we
game.
don't necessarily have to scroll
And
down. Oh yeah, yeah, here it is.
then you get that's the what you were looking for, right?
Because if I had file, then I'm feeling good. You allocate only one eye. I just need 3 moves that actually happen.
Yeah,
I
you're
still
down to
have Mithril.
7. I mean, okay, you still got Mithril. Yeah, it's true. If you get like a 1, a 2, and a 3 or something like, you could have just cruised to victory. So yeah, I think I got away with it this turn. I also made a mistake with giving you Gandhi. That was a mistake as well.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, that's true. That's true.
yeah. I think I made like genuinely like I've played this is not one of my stronger games of Shadow. I think I made like 4 quite big errors, but I got away with it. As you can, it's just the thing. You can do it as Shadow. You can get away with it sometimes.
Well, thank you so much for the game. It was an excellent game, and I enjoyed playing it.
Yeah, thanks for being a really good sport. I think it was a great game, and I'm looking forward to round 2.
Yep.
So if anyone's made it this far, round 2 is going to be on Ituralde's channel. I'll put a link to Ituralde's channel in the show, kind of the notes below the video, so you can find it there, and it'll be in the War of the Ring content channel as well.
All right.
But
We'll
yeah,
see you then.
have a great Sunday, and see you, man.
Yeah. Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Happy St. Patrick's Day. Ciao, ciao.